sex from a relationship and 90% of women have nothing to offer. Remove money and 90% of women will disappear. Honestly, he nailed it. Women today are useless. Ran through, materialistic, and draining your wallet. You'd be better off flying to Thailand and becoming a passport bro because Western women, not worth it. Got your attention? Exactly. I am so tired of seeing posts like this that are strategically phrased to incite anger amongst all of you. I've watched my male following go from excited and eager about dating to completely turned off by it thanks to the toxic, addictive mindset that all women suck. Look, I get it. Some women suck. And I hear your frustrations about the norms we are trying to reverse. But I also know that there are amazing women who want masculine men and share your values. Posts like this are meant to fuel your rage and keep you hooked on an endless dopamine hit of validating your self-pity. I know the game, and if I wanted to, I could grow my following in a heartbeat by playing into it, but I'm not going to. I've watched my following shrink over the past year because I refuse to feed you hopelessness.
Men aren't quitting, we're choosing peace over disrespect. Remove the money and the bedroom perks and many women vanish instantly. Men are done pouring time and effort into entitlement and materialism. Sleeping in, stacking wealth, and enjoying peace beats chasing stress, arguments, and bills.
63% of men under 30 are single, and more than half of them aren't even trying to date. Why do you think that is? What do you think the root cause of that is?
And I feel like a lot of younger men that are single, that aren't even trying, they don't want to dedicate the time. They want to build their business. They want to make it to the gym. They want to travel. They want to do it. And you know what? Finding a real relationship is work. It's not that they can't get dates. It's that they can't get the right ones.
If you're not tall, elite, and checking every box, dating is pointless. Modern expectations have turned dating into an unwinnable game for average men. And this is exactly why men are stepping away.
There was a study called from the Pew Center Research conducted a study that said 63% of men under age 30 would rather stay home and watch porn than go on a date. Men say they are getting their needs met without having to go on a date. Would men rather stay single than be with a woman is the question.
That's what they're saying, pretty much.
63% of men.
I think they're cheap.
Yeah, they just ain't got no money.
They don't have money, which you should get your money up before you start dating. So it is cheaper to sit home and beat your meat than actually go out and find actual women to hang out with.
That's a sad reality.
I disagree.
Why? What do you think?
Is it less of a headache to have to deal with a woman or something?
There it goes. Like, it's a headache. Now I got to take you out. I got to hear what you had to tell your whole day.
That's why you take out people you actually like, and then you don't feel that.
Yeah, but then I got to get to know you first to like you, right?
Yeah.
So how do I get to know you?
Call on the
phone. So you rather hand?
Hey, listen, I'm married.
You always gotta say. Okay, so if you wasn't married,
I'd probably beat him. I mean, 100 miles an hour.
Women expect attention, commitment, and resources, but men have realized staying home beats entitlement, chaos, and disrespect. Checked out, no payoff, just headaches.
If you're a grown man, once you hit 21 and you pulling your phone out making videos, I do not trust you at that point because I feel like, me personally, this could be a personal thing, but I feel like social media is for women. I'm sorry. And it's for men to look at.
Ooh, man, we can't do nothing. No, I was just playing, but in all seriousness, there are a lot of women who just genuinely don't like to see men happy or men speaking their mind. There are a lot of girlfriends, a lot of fiancés, a lot of wives who don't like to see their man happy unless they're the reason their man is happy. They don't want to see their man going out with drinks with the fellas. They don't want to see their man going to watch sports. They don't want to see their man going to play sports. They don't want to see their man playing a video game. They don't want to see their man watching anime. If she's not the reason you're happy, she don't feel like you should be happy because that other thing that's making you happy is taken away from her. And not only that, we live in a time, in a generation where most women don't care how they man think or really care how they man feel. And they actually care about that man. So why in the hell would they want to hear a random man on social media talking about how he feels or what he thinks? Like me, they don't give a fuck. They don't want to hear that. They don't care about how they man feel. Why would they care about how I feel or what I think?
Want the single life summarized? No drama, no stress, no nonsense. Financial freedom and complete autonomy. Yet modern women still can't grasp this basic reality.
So I know it doesn't look like it because I just got out of the gym, but I'm the psychologist that talks about attachment and relationship patterns on here. And I wanted to tell you that the easiest way to get a really sensitive person into like a very irrational, dysregulated rage is to invalidate their emotion, particularly their emotion about feeling lonely or misunderstood. Meaning dismiss it, tell them it's not the big of a deal. Tell them if they get out more, they'll just make a friend and everything will be okay. So people born with really, really highly sensitive temperaments catastrophize and personalize everything. So they really need someone outside of them throughout their development to mirror back that they're okay inside and that the world isn't going to crumble and that negative emotions and reactions doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just a part of being human. And if they don't get that, it's not just that they feel alone. It's that they fear that there's something wrong with them. So I'm talking about a highly sensitive person, male or female, that either through like over control or neglect or not attuning, not understanding, whatever, they end up feeling not only alone, but also defective. And that lends itself to disorganized attachment or fearful avoidant attachment. Or, and I was talking about several videos ago, the overlap between OCD and bipolar. If they have a little bit less sensitivity, they'll be more ritualistic and more OCD and less like a bipolar borderline-ish presentation. And then they'll be an externalizing avoidant attached person. But that is a video I've done before, not going into it right now. You know, these people, because of their high sensitivity with misattunement, they crave other people to understand them and get them. And they're very sensitive if other people don't. So these are the kids who, if their teacher doesn't understand them, or something simple, like their teacher gives them a lower grade or misjudges them and punishes them when they weren't the one talking or whatever, they are so dysregulated. It's not like, oh my gosh, that was annoying. And it's not like the PDA thing where they feel like their autonomy is taken away and they're being unfairly controlled and it was unjust. It's like they're hurt. They're deeply hurt that their teacher doesn't understand them. And these are the kids that the same thing, if they don't get into a party or whatever, it's deeply upsetting. And I would see these older kids and teenagers in therapy and I would be like, whoa, they're putting so much emphasis on like somebody that should be a peripheral character in their life, a teacher, right? To confirm something about them. And they don't have like a stable foundation of I'm okay inside, ideally formed in early childhood with a caregiver. And now I see adults in therapy who are navigating relationships and they go into interactions with their partner that seemingly on the surface aren't that big of a deal. Like, oh, it stresses me out when the dishes aren't done or something superficial like that. But they are so deeply dysregulated and their partner looks at them like, oh my gosh, what is the big deal? And then that makes them even more dysregulated because at the root of it, they're going through their whole life just trying to heal this wound of understand me. So instead of saying, well, that wasn't a big deal, or fixing it, like frantically doing the dishes, if you've got a partner with this kind of wound, I'm not telling you to be a doormat, bend over backwards, jump when you say jump, because sometimes if these highly sensitive, traumatized people aren't being understood for a prolonged period of time, they will replace the need to be understood with the need to be accommodated and they'll start to control. I'm not saying if you're the partner of this person, accommodate them. I'm saying just take a second to repeat what they said. Yeah, it really makes you stressed out when the dishes aren't done. And see if that takes the tension out of the room because they are hurt. And one of the developmental deprivations was they didn't get attunement well.
Women like this emotionally exhaust good men, turning love into emotional labor and connection into constant turmoil. Their unresolved issues get projected onto partners, punishing men who only wanted peace, balance, and a healthy bond.
Why men have given up on women. Let's face it, the red pill community was not built overnight. As both a woman and a psychotherapist, my journey has been humbling to say the least. The number one reason that men have given up on women and on love is solely because the gap between men and women is getting larger and larger. With women, there's the movement of I don't need no man. And then with men, you have that movement of women are a liability. So in my practice, I try to teach clients how to close that gap. The truth is that relationships and genuine love is beautiful. And it's a really powerful achievement. Man or woman, let's face it, we need one another.
It simply isn't worth it anymore. Men don't want drama in their lives. Men naturally choose peace. Even when men gather together, it's calm and supportive, no tearing each other down. With women, it's constant complaining and nagging. They openly resent men, then act shocked when men walk past without looking. Men are choosing peace, and it's been liberating. Our side is finally quiet and stress-free.
So yesterday, I made a video in which I put out my theory that the majority, or at least most men that are single, are not as lonely as a lot of individuals out there would like us to believe. In fact, from the majority of the comments from men, most men have actually found it rather peaceful being single. And this seemed to upset some individuals, and by some I mean some women, some of whom left some very disparaging comments in regards to what they thought of me. But it doesn't matter what they think of me. What I want to know is, why would some women get upset that men are more happy single than they were in relationships? Because I think we all know that sometimes it's worse to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't appreciate you than to be single and be by yourself, where you don't have to worry about impressing anyone or worrying about what they're doing. So why would some be upset about what the guys were saying?
Avoid American women and your life genuinely becomes calmer and happier. During Me Too, women said, "Don't approach us, don't talk to us." Men listened. Now they're confused by the silence. It's not fear, it's burnout. Men aren't afraid of rejection or labels anymore. They're tired of a rigged game.
A person who's comfortable being alone is a dangerous person. If you disrespect them, they'll walk away. If you overstep their boundaries, they'll cut you off. If you try to manipulate or threaten to leave them, they will gladly hold the door open for you without a single fuck given. Because they don't need you in their life. They choose to let you be in it. And that right there makes them unfuckwithable.
Bruh, women can't stand when a man has a good time. Women can't stand when a man has fun. Women are the no fun police. Now, you got to understand what I'm talking about. A lot of men think, oh, I'm gonna make some money. I want to go out and have a good time, and I gotta call a woman. That's low level thinking. Some of them say, I made some money, I'm gonna call my boys. We're gonna go hang out, and that's cool. But there is nothing that threatens a woman more when this man can go out into society in the market, not on his cell phone, not on Tinder, not on Facebook dating, and he can just interact. He can strike up a conversation. He can draw in people. He can shake hands, kiss babies, mwah, 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 like he's campaigning to be a president. That pisses them off. Who were you with? Who were you talking to? Who are you banging? Because they don't got the skill like you got the skill, HTL, because you've been holding the line. Let's take a moment. Hold. You understand? When you hold the line, you enjoy your own company. When you hold the line, you walk in the room and the temperature switches. When you hold the line, you walk in the room and it's no longer about attention. It's about you provide tension. Because now people got to see, all right, how do they greet this man? All right, let me talk to you. Now they look and see, is he going to talk to me? Now they going to look and see who will come up to him. Now they going to look and see, is he meeting somebody here? And let me give you a cheat code of when you go out and you hold the line. You should always go out and hold the line and go to connect with people. You know what I'm saying? They say, what's the one thing they used to say? They say, increase your network to increase your net worth. So look, don't go out with the type of energy where you're being needy to say, I gotta get a number. You understand? Don't go out with the type of energy to say, I've got to meet a woman. You know, you gotta go out and say, I'm gonna meet people, I'm gonna meet groups, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant these seeds, because there's only a few of us that's outside. This game of life has a lot of people and there's spectators, but they only have a few players. So yes, it requires you to go out and socialize. Women realize this. Women know the power of knowing how to socialize, how much it can advance you. You got to go outside. Listen, if you hold the line, you got to go outside. I'm being for real. I'm being for real, because What's gonna blow you up is not you at home. What's gonna blow you up is when the streets love you. See, I say this, if I had a record deal, I don't need to go to Capitol Records, go to the top floor and talk to the A&R and try to audition and give a mixtape. If you really got talent, you go out in these streets and you talk to people and see what the people vibe with. You don't want 10% of people to like you. The 10% don't matter. You want to touch that 90. You want to be raw. You want to be real. You want to interact. You want to take the lumps. You want to bounce back. You want to be able to go out and socialize. You want to be able to go out and have fun by yourself. You should be able to go out and have fun with yourself and be able to be home by yourself and don't look at it as a loss. That's so much fun. You got to have fun in this lifetime. You like, the Joker said, why so serious? Everything can't be like, I gotta work, I gotta sleep, I gotta work, I gotta sleep. Go out and have some fun. And why you gotta say, well, the only way I can have some fun is if I can go get a date. Don't you realize if you go out, and what you do is you make a
Average men are waking up to dating apps. Most women there aren't seeking relationships, they're rotating attention, validation, and hookups. Passed around endlessly, then wondering why no one commits.
No, males are not choosing, but
Oh, yes, they are.
I do find it hilarious how they are all like, yeah, we're done with women. That's why we're all single, because we chose to be done with women.
You know, if someone tells you something often enough, maybe you should start believing them because, yeah, a lot of men are just completely done with dating.
You guys didn't choose that. You know you didn't choose that.
Oh, but they did. What exactly is so hard to believe about that?
You know that right now women are becoming really picky and not choosing men that all they do is bring a paycheck.
Like I said before, there's a lot of women that are very upset that a lot of guys are actually choosing to be single because they want all of the power for themselves and to be able to dictate who they date. It is incomprehensible to some that guys actually can choose who to date.
Although there are still women out there who will accept that. And I suggest you go find them and leave us alone.
Oh, I don't think that'll be a problem at all because it's almost like personality types similar to some that we've just seen are almost the very reasons why a lot of guys are choosing to remain single.
Here's the thing, men genuinely don't think that women will be happy alone because they are not happy alone. Has anybody ever seen the statistics about how women who are single live longer than men who are single? And that's primarily because women are responsible for the majority of the emotional, mental, and sometimes physical labor in a relationship or a family dynamic. I've been having this ongoing conversation with one of my guy friends, and he knows that he is actively settling for the girl that he's dating. He said to me the other day, yeah, there's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to settle. I said, settle? For what? I don't need a man. Like, of course I want to have a relationship and a family and all those things, but at what cost? Like, we've all watched our mothers and our grandmothers slave away in these relationships for a man that doesn't really care about them or maybe was even settling. I would rather be alone. But men truly believe that women are unhappy if they're single because they refuse to acknowledge the fact that they are a main reason why we are miserable. Why we're miserable in relationships. Why do you think women are the ones who leave marriages? Because we're chronically unhappy with men who don't value us, who take us for granted, and who will admittedly and actively settle for us. No, thank you.
Real men aren't disappearing, they're working. 12-hour days, 6 days a week, building careers and futures. Sundays aren't for chasing drama, they're for recharging. High-value men don't pursue women who bring entitlement instead of peace.
For me, like, when I ask a guy, like, what is he passionate about? Like sometimes it's like going to the gym, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like, anything else?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I don't think that you're for me, but maybe I have a friend for you. You know? Like, You're so
You
cute.
can't make this shit up, man. You can't. You know, like, what's wrong with a dude being passionate about the gym? Like, it's just, this kind of woman does not want to see a man happy. That's it. It's crazy ass expectations in her head, man. But what does she like do for passion? What, makeup? Like, you're gonna do some makeup? Oh, I do makeup and I like to shop. Like, I don't understand this shit, man. I don't understand these stupid interviews. It makes you look so bad. There's so many videos on these interviews of women that just, they cannot stand to see a man happy. Like, what's wrong with that? I just don't get it. Like, what's wrong with a man being passionate about the gym or fishing or... It's a cold game you're playing, man. I hope to God that you guys do not fall in the trap. I hope you guys do not end up with a woman like this. Your life will be over. Your life's gonna be nothing but stress, headaches, bull, and drama, and I promise you, it's not something you want to be dealing with. Pick and choose wisely, man.
This is the thing I hear from all women nowadays. We're all the masculine men. I'll tell you, the second you meet them, you run and hide.
Because they don't want to sacrifice a part within themselves, so that would require them to show up.
Men are not willing to give up their commitment for somebody that is still committed to other things. And women need to really understand that it's not easy to be with a real man. Most women say they want a high-value alpha male. They don't. They've been trained to want men that lie to their face. And that needs to be challenged.
They said leave them alone. They didn't want average men. We listened. You can't build with someone who quietly resents you. They chose distance, chose the bear, and men stepped back. The result? Peace, freedom, and more happiness than chasing rejection.
Then I saw this video about how guys are like maybe shy or scared to ask girls out now. I don't know why they're not going up to a woman. Like, what's holding them back from that?
Because of feminism and Me Too and all that shit. And because women will put men on blast who like maybe awkwardly approach them.
Yeah.
And like also those gym TikTok videos where girls like work out in the gym and then there's like a guy who like glances at them for like 1 second and they blast them. That's what guys are scared of. And these guys aren't even doing anything wrong. Sometimes they're not even looking in their direction. But like, so there's like this social component now where like people are terrified to get like exposed on social media. So
63% of men in the United States are single. And no, it's not because they're players, they're picky, or emotionally unavailable. It's because the dating pool isn't filled with women who are ready to build. It's filled with women chasing something else. Validation, independence, status, and personal freedom. All at the cost of actual connection. Let's be honest, being a good man doesn't get you very far anymore. Not when you're up against a culture that's told women they don't need you, shouldn't trust you, and definitely shouldn't center their life around building something with you. Feminism, at least the version of it we see today, has told women that a good man is optional, but self-fulfillment, that's sacred, that his needs are secondary, and that compromise is oppression. And if you're a man that's looking for a good woman, one who still values partnership, respect, and building something real, you're not crazy. You're just living in a culture that makes you feel like you are. But here's what they don't tell you. Those women do still exist. They're just not where you're looking. They're not loud and they're not trending. And contrary to all of those women, they're not trying to prove something to the world, but they are watching, waiting, looking for a man who leads, listens, and lives a life of purpose. And the reality is, you may not be the man that they would choose yet. And in this video, I'm going to let you in on how to avoid toxic partners and actually find women with the values that you're looking for.
For men aged 18 to 29, lacking money, status, and lifestyle explains much. By 30 plus, some succeed but carry years of rejection and little dating experience. When women settle later after dozens of partners, men want balance, their own experience, their own parity. That's not bitterness, it's fairness.
One of the biggest complaints that we get from guys that are in the dating marketplace is the flake rate. Women plan a date with them, oh, I'll come out with you, blah, 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 and then she doesn't show up, or she doesn't respond to text or whatever. Anytime a girl flakes on a guy, what it simply means is something better came along. And thanks to the internet, thanks to Instagram, thanks to dating apps, etc., which dating apps heavily favor women, by the way. Guys absolutely fail dating apps. Only about 5% of guys even get swiped right in the first place. Women have more abundance than ever before, and they have more options than ever before. And I don't think guys understand. We've interviewed 2,500 women now at this point on our show. And what I've come to realize is the abundance of options that modern day women have is absolutely influenced how they view the opposite gender. Most women, unfortunately, do not respect most men. Most women think most men are below them.
63%
63% of men under the age of 30 are choosing to be single. The reality is they live in a culture where they kind of get what they want without having to be married. So they're like, why should I make that level of commitment? Everybody still desires to find someone special. They still want to have intimacy. They still want to feel loved and have a person who loves them unconditionally. So we can't look at this and say something's not working. If you do what most people do, you'll get what most people get.
Thanks for watching. Find sermons like this and more by downloading our mobile app today and never miss another moment.
Men want calm, stability, and order. Women keep injecting chaos, prioritizing social antics over substance. Men aren't chasing noise, they're building lives. No surprise they check out while women remain confused.
There are way more single men under 30 than women. A Pew study revealed that 63% of men under 30 are single, while only 34% of women are single as well, which is a 12% increase for men from 2019, and only a 2% increase for women. There are also 5 million more women in the United States than men, and globally women are younger than their male partners, which could be a reason for the disparity. So why are more men single now? One psychologist says it's due to social media and watching naughty videos, and that men are getting their needs met without going out. And on the other side, women don't need to be in long-term relationships. They don't need to be married. They'd rather go out to brunch with friends than on a horrible date. But what about something in the middle? One psychologist says that we're in a crisis of connection and disconnecting from ourselves and each other, which sounds kind of familiar when you add up all the other societal decay caused by social media. But if we don't have social media, where else are we going to argue about toxic masculinity and feminism?
I have a regular man for you, and I want you to tell me if you would marry this man.
Okay.
5'8", about 35 to 50K per year. Would you marry that?
Hell no. He's below the poverty line. What are you talking about?
The poverty line is actually far less
regular.
than that.
Yes.
Ryan, raise your hands if you would marry him. Yes or no?
I don't even know any men in that
Okay, hold on.
position.
So no one at the table would marry this man, right? No one? Okay. Congratulations. You and 1,000 other girls plus we've interviewed said the same exact thing. So it goes back to what I said. You said, most girls are going to get a regular man. No. Most girls want extraordinary men.
For men today, marriage carries enormous risk with very little reward. The equation is broken, and it's not in men's favor.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.